Joe M. Sekimonyo is a theorist, human rights activist, political economist, and social philanthropist, and he's with us now. How are you doing today?
I'm alive. I'm alive, sir.
Yeah, that's always good, I feel.
Yeah, depend. You can try the other option.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you've got a brand new book out called Ethicism, Self-Enslavement, and Abolitionist Manifesto.
Yes, it's a long try.
Yeah.
So the title is ethicism,
Uh,
and the subtitle is the manifesto of the self enslavement abolitionist. It's a long one,
yeah.
but it was is again giving people a little preview what is ethicism. So that's why it's long.
Yeah. So, what is the basic idea behind this book, first of all?
First of all, is I was doing some conferences and I wrote a book like 10 years ago, I think 6 or 10 years ago, is about economic jihad, right? I say we as in the 21st century, we need to find another social economic arrangement, right? Capitalism, socialism, communist, they're old. It's just they're irrelevant to their reality, right? But humanity, we have not come in terms to that, or we have not provided an alternative to abandon the other ship. So people ask me what I was offering. Then I was explaining something and people cannot get it. I'm like, the best way to do it is to pick a word that does exist. So that's why I pick ethicism. So ethicism is a term that I coined to say these things I will try to say is an alternative to capitalism, socialism, and communism, right? With this new arrangement that I'm offering, I'm put on the table for discussion.
And what exactly does this new arrangement include?
It includes something fundamental. Is like socialism, capitalism, all of them. They put in term at their heart. There's a role of the state, right, of the government.
Yeah.
He played like the right. Sorry, he played the middle field, right? He's the one who give a take from some. He's the one who played right or wrong, the justice system, right, of this economic system, one or another. In ethicism, we say we need to take away the middleman, right? In all this system, the government played the middleman, and to me, I'm like, no, the government should not play the middleman, because most of the time, as we know, right, the middleman steal from the poor to give to the rich, right, in form of taxes, or sometimes the middleman, communist socialism, killed even the poor, right, to control them. How can we have an economic system where we don't have the middleman, right? The state go back to its role of trying to create another playing field as far as roads, right? Collective tax and collect road, education system, healthcare. But as far as sharing the surplus, the government has no role into that field.
Yeah.
And also to redefine profit. Profit is just surplus. For me, the premise is this. Like in 1800, they took somebody in England on the field to train him to make shoes. So the person who put the money who had the land, supposedly for some degree, has the right to get the bigger share.
Yeah.
But today, as with time, right, they force the worker to go to school to acquire means of participation in this enterprise, right? Even today, if you want to work even in a supermarket, you got to have a resume, right? Yeah. Do you know how to use the machine? So it's not the enterprise, right? The supermarket didn't send to school to learn it, but they ask you to own your means of participation in their enterprise. And doing so, they should not pay you a salary.
Yeah.
You have the right, as people, the percentage of the profit, right, of the surplus. Everybody should get a percentage of the profit instead of a salary. That's, I feel like the most important is like why I get to the point to explain what is the solution, right? Is the premise is whereas today in the 21st century, more people than ever, even in the third world country, own the means of participation in an enterprise. The quality might differ, but everybody go to acquire the means of participation. And in doing so, what is wealth? What is capital, right? Is everything, right? It's not only money, it's not only land, it's anything that you use to make more money. And that's also to say, like, I have my own means of participation, let's say education.
Yeah.
I work in a supermarket. I cannot use my means of participation instantly two different places, right? If I'm working in the cashier register, I'm just working there. And that's the excuse of people with money. They say they get percentage, right? They get a fair percentage of the profit because they tie in the capital, right? If we tie in also the worker, tie in also their capital. So money is as good as skills, knowledge. And that's the premise. And even in the book, I told the story of lions, right? They get captured by monkey, they go put in a circus, they get paid by monkey money, right? Currency, they get abused. But the kids are able to go to school, right? Yeah. So when they come back, what they want, they need a lion share. It's just to illustrate the idea of and put more emphasis on that premise. If we accept that premise, then we can rethink the way that we distribute or we share surplus.
Yeah, for sure. Now, a lot of people listening in a capitalist society might wonder, well, what exactly is wrong with capitalism? I'm happy with the way my life and money is.
Yes, good. But you gotta say, like, capitalism today, if we have, every day we have a billionaire, because it was built in a system where, people don't have means of participation that's sophisticated, right? Because we got tied in what I call the trap of, especially in the modern world, what I call it the trap of over efficiency, right?
Yeah.
Now, you need to be 400 people to work on the field. Now, with technology, knowledge, and everything else goes on, now you need 2 people. What are the 98 people doing?
Yeah.
Right. So now they give what they call the oxycontin of the masses. Now you have the ability of spending your supposed to be future income today, right? So you can go shop. I say they're happy, but it's an illusion of opulence, is illusion of happiness, right? We all are we are pulling our future and spending today. That's why you see all the developed world, all of the 10 biggest economy, the richest countries supposedly, are also the most indebted, right? They're more debt. So yes, they're happy, but it's not organic. It's an artificial happiness because they are able to create debt, right?
Yeah.
Instead of me working at what Amazon and get a percentage what I'm due, Jeff Bezos get all the share, and what I get, I go to the bank and tell them I can make $100,000 a year, supposedly at Amazon. Can you give me the $500,000 villa, right?
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I have a home, but I forget that it can be taken away every day, right? But if the system, if the premise understanding that we own our means of participation, Jeff Bezos will not be as rich as he is or as fast as he is.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a lot of people rich who can afford. They don't need to borrow from their future because their present worth as good as money, as good as somebody with an idea. That's what I say is artificial.
Yeah.
They just got fed what I repeat, execution of the poor, which is credit.
Do you think that the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed more of the problems with capitalism?
Not at all. Not at all. It even make it less apparent because now you see, even the tech industry, they made so much money. The pharmaceutical company, they're going to make so much money out of COVID. It's not the poor, right? The poor are kind of subsidized to live till at what point, but who's going to pay all these pharmaceutical company for all this vaccine that are coming out? We know it's not charity work. They get the money somewhere, and it's from us, and probably is from our future, because the government is going to borrow money to pay the pharmaceutical company. But who's going to repay those debt? It's us.
Yeah.
So COVID made less apparent the big issue of capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely. So for this book, are you an author as well, or did you just decide to write this book? This was your first book because of being passionate about the cause.
No, I'm an author, right? I write political economy books. My first book that kind of catch on is Economic Jihad. Then I wrote a couple other books that didn't catch on. So everybody was asking me, you talk about ethicism in that book, what it is. So I had to write ethicism. The book that should have came out is Don't Have Sex with an Activist. That's another book. But I had to push it back it might be coming out in 2024 to have ethicism out, trying to explain what it is thing I'm talking about. What is the alternative to this old social arrangement, while we understand that the paradigms have shifted.
Well, if we're interested in your book, where are we able to check it out everywhere?
I think if you just Google ethicism, it's going to send you straight up to all the sites that sell my books. And I think there's even a YouTube that kind of give you an idea of what is ethicism. But just Google ethicism and you will find it.
Yeah. And are you on social media or have a website or anything that we're able to check out all your other work on?
Yes, is on social. If somebody Google Joe M. Sekimonyo, then they find my official website with all my work and my books, and they can find me on Facebook under the name, and especially on YouTube, because I do a lot of I speak a lot on social issue in my home country, which is Congo, and around the world, right? There's some interviews that people can find and kind of have an idea of what is my moral stand on issue or today's issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been great talking to you and very interesting stuff.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.